6. And he was so polite as to ask me my winning streak against grandmasters, and I said 7, and I did it 3 times. And he said to me, yes, but you did it against weaker grandmasters. And I said, yes, you were one of them. You were the one.
Wow, nice shot.
It was a nice flex.
Yeah.
As we get ready for, where
was your 7?
It was, I won like the final 3 games in London. Then I beat Vlastimil Hort, Raymond Keane twice, and in London the final 3 games included Karpov. That was where Karpov, Wolf, and others, yeah.
And the games
And we're
are
getting
off.
ready to start. E2, E4.
No ready, no, his favorite opening.
By the way, no Sicilian by...
More solid choice by Fabi, bishop c4.
Yeah, oh, I got the wrong game on my board, apologies. I should have been ready. Where are you?
There we have it. In the middle, right in the middle.
Yep, Gukesh. Bishop c5. No knight f6, bishop e... The Hungarian knight f6, bishop e7 is also
very much
gaining
traction.
Yeah. Bishop c5. Expecting c3. Knight f6, d3.
And the pause before c3 may be an indication that Gukesh perhaps expected the Hungarian.
Right, and readjusting himself a little bit. Yeah. D2, D4 would be a very, very disappointing move because there are a lot of lines that do end in a draw. I mean, white can force those positions, but D2, D3 is expected, and I do think we're going to have a very nice fight where things are going to be decided much later in the game. It's not going to be
I was holding my breath because D4 was a possibility.
It felt like it might occur, but D7, D6, and again, Peter, my brain turns into mush when I think about all of these lines with bishop G5 and not to play bishop G5 and don't play
These
A4.
days, the move orders are unbelievably confusing.
Complex,
There's been some very interesting developments recently. There's next to our tournament in India right now, there's a very strong round robin.
Yes.
And there was a very interesting game there where I'm trying to remember the exact move order, but maybe it was like this, where, no, hang on, castles did not happen. So perhaps bishop G5 straight away. And I think in this position, a wonder played knight G8, which was completely new. Somehow the bishop was already on A7, but
I think he included A6,
yeah,
A4.
I think somehow including maybe exactly like this. Yeah, A6, A4, and maybe bishop A7 and some other move, but I can't remember which move. But the point was, in this position, now among other things, this is also an idea they try because H5 followed by H4. We're protecting the pawn on G5, so it's. There's all kinds of things going on, and the move orders they flow into each other, and the differences are minute but very important, and not for us to discuss, really.
If I had suggested knight G8 in preparation with Viktor Korchnoi, he would have kicked me out of the house. I was like,
very likely.
Who is this guy?
Very likely.
And knight G8.
And who would judge him?
Yes.
Who would judge him?
A7, A5, some very interesting nuances. I think the big battle is to come in this one. Let's just catch up with a few of the other players. I want to go specifically to MVL Wesley So. When I think about Grand Chess Tour points, it's a very powerful discover check, not to be underestimated.
But maybe we play E5, E4, Queen C4. Maybe we play something like Knight C8.
Simply King H8.
Or King H8 first. Yeah, why be so fancy? Just King H8, King H7. Which square do we choose?
I'll choose one. H8. Let's get a
Knight D2. Gotta move the knight. Or you want to move it in the corner?
I want to set. I
Well,
like
then you lose the D5 pawn, right?
Yes.
And you open up my bishop.
Yes. Beside that,
didn't find
F5, F4. By the way.
Also strong, and this is what is confusing me about Queen D3. you can very easily miss d6, d5. It's a kind of a tactic which, I mean, it's not unusual, but it's still missable because there's so much tension in the center already, and throwing more wood onto the fire sometimes gets missed. But the thing is, f4 is very strong as well, so why...
You have two very good answers.
Why subject yourself to any of this? Like, if you play knight f5, probably knight takes f5 is playable, but the engine says you can even, for now, improve it. But look what you've done to your bishop on c1.
Right. Pawn on f4
it just doesn't really feel like this should be any good at all, and this is why there were healthy options available. You could just take twice and play queen d3 here, or queen c2, the machine goes for some reason, and then bishop b3. We're not really very worried about these exchange sacrifices because black doesn't really have enough attackers. So something like queen f6, bishop b3, once again, you can do this, but it doesn't really work all that well because we just go king h2, rook g1, g3. The pieces are just too far away for this to work. And it's probably around equality, but you know, if anyone is slightly better, it's probably white.
Right.
And queen d3 is such a striking choice precisely because it's not one, but two very good solutions for black.
Knight f1
played knight f1, but yeah, but you're just worse now. I like knight c6, for instance, just immediately creating a lot of pressure on the default. Yes, queen f6 coming in. And honestly, g5, h5 is really not going to be very unreasonable very soon.
Exactly.
God, that white bishop on c1, it's very sad to look at.
Yeah, and if we provoke d4, d5, we are kind of winning, because then the bishop on b6 will be unburied for the rest of the game. Yeah,
monster. And for those of you joining us late, we are on a record watch as we see Fabiano.
He can break the record currently. 15 out of 18 has been achieved 3 times. Fabio was one of them to achieve it. Magnus did it twice. But if he wins this final game against Gukesh, he gets 16 out of 18 and breaks the record.
And as I keep saying, that was just disrespectful for the rest of the field. I mean, you're not supposed to score 16 out of 18.
Just 2 draws and win every other game.
No, I mean, come on.
Incredible.
That is just amazing. By the way, he has played the move king h8, and I kind of like this move too because it's sort of like you're asking white, please tell me what you're going to do. You're going to go bishop to d2 and rook d1 and bishop to c1. Is that how you're going to achieve liberation?
I think the dream, in as much as white has one, is something like bishop d2 and then maybe try for some b4, c4, trying to do at least gain some space on the queen side. It's not a particularly attractive dream, but we really have no play in the sense. Maybe
That's
knight
my
h2.
point. You don't really
maybe
have
knight
play.
h2, g4. If black does nothing for 3 moves in a row, maybe I would like this knight on g4 to maybe pretend we have some pressure against the pawn on e5. But yeah, I still like the knight on c6. Maybe he just wants to go for some g5 directly, which is not bad at all. But without the light squared bishop and with the knight on h2 providing a useful kind of to stem the flow of the attack, this is not as horrible as it looks, which is why I liked starting with knight 6, queen f6 so much, because not giving white enough time to even set this up.
Right.
Really asking immediate questions like, do you want to give it up on d4? Do you want to actually play d5? And shockingly on my screen currently, the best move is d5, which like I would think I've lost.
Right.
If I had to play d5 here, I would think I am getting mated on the king side with the bishop on b6 being so strong. This is why it was my preference. Knight h2 played once again. Machine says play knight c6. Second best move, c5, really digging at the center to get the bishop on b6 into the game. Not that easy to make a move like this because you are doing weird things to your structure, but also an option. But I think this is by far the cleanest and the best option that black has.
By the way, we do have knight h2 on the board. Now I'm because Gukesh is investing a lot of time into attacking the pawn on e5.
Knight
now
c6.
I'm really
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
much more motivated to play knight c6.
And you're happy to provoke d5 because the
delirious.
bishop comes alive on b6 and just wins the game on its own.
Yeah, I've often referred to such bishops as like guided missiles. I mean, they're just those open diagonals. And because you can't oppose them with bishop e3, knight c6 is just really begging to be played here. Clock times, not a factor?
5 minutes spent by Fabi, 3 minutes by Gukesh, so they're playing very fast. I mean, they were in theory probably until 5 moves ago.
Yeah, and that
until
that
queen
f5,
d3.
queen
Yeah.
d3. Yeah, all right.
It's so interesting how when it started, we're like, oh, well, this is not a very exciting opening. And then f5 came, f4, and here we are.
And suddenly...
Black is already better.
Very, very sharp position. I'm going to go over to the player who's in second place, and that's Levon Aronian, of course. He's on the black side. Interesting that both of our leaders are on black in the final round. Up against he is chasing history. We are in the 10th anniversary of the Grand Chess Tour, and nobody, and I mean nobody, in the 10 years has ever scored 16 out of 18 in the rapid portions of the Rapid and Blitz. Fabi's at 14 out of 16, and he's on the cusp. C5.
We
Peter,
like his position, but
I
how
love
much?
his position.
You love it.
I love it.
It is very pleasant. It's, I think, possibly still manageable for white because you don't really have structural weaknesses. Your position is very sturdy, and if you somehow solve the problem of finding something to do with this bishop on d2, you might be okay. But of course, you always take black. Black has more space, more active
There's
pieces.
a knight on h2 that looks ridiculous.
Yeah, rook d1. The knight on c5 sort of has done its job. Let's show how we got there. Fabi chose to put the knight on g6, not c6, as one of the explanations why. Because he has the move c5 here. You could try playing d5 here, but Gukesh instead goes d takes c5, knight takes c5, queen c2. Fabi went queen c7, rook d1. Oops, sorry, rook d1. And now the knight is no longer really doing very much on c5.
Yeah.
You could maybe make an argument for transferring it over to f6, where
I like that
maybe it supports some d6, d5 ideas. Maybe it also denies white the g4 square for the knight. The engine also puts it on e6 in some cases, which is a beautiful square. I just don't know what active ideas it has there.
Right.
Maybe it just stops white from playing c3, c4. Because if you look at it from the white side, what you would like to do is to play c4 and perhaps put the bishop on b4 or c3, where at least it starts resembling a chess piece. You know,
It has life.
currently it's just in the way of its own pieces and doing absolutely nothing. It's a pleasant enough position for black, but there are no immediate breakthroughs. You just try to slightly improve positions of your pieces, deny white some activity, and go from there.
All right, Peter. It just feels to me with this pawn on f4, the bishop on b6, I kind of love it. On the other hand, yeah, the knight on c5, it's done its job. Find a better square. I like e6. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm not sure what we want, but we've denied
G6?
so much activity, right?
Right.
Maybe this one actually needs to get removed somewhere. Maybe you aim it at the f6 square, and then maybe we can actually come back to our dream of g5, h5, g4 eventually. Obviously, like white will not be standing still, so it's not going to be as easy.
Just, it's funny, this bishop diagonal on g1, you almost want to play queen c5, but would you want to play queen a7?
Sure.
Or queen on c5?
Well, yeah, bishop c5, queen b6 or something, yeah.
Absolutely. To
Very
shift the
tempting
pieces
to do
a little
that.
bit. But it looks to our eyes like the world champion Gukesh is actually on the back foot for the moment. Things can change easily, as Peter was mentioning. If you give white the chance to play c4, bishop b4, rook d5, you could easily imagine yourself saying, okay, I like what Gukesh has done in that case. Clock times still
15 minutes against 13 so far, but I think we will see them end up in time trouble.
We just saw, and I was very stunned by it, Gukesh in a very, very tense time scramble with Lanier. He declined more or less a repetition and forced matters and collapsed in
Just right away.
Yeah, in a time under time trouble, time pressure.
But then he did recover against Wesley and delivered the checkmate with 5 seconds.
H5. That was pretty special.
He's having kind of a roller coaster tournament.
But in the previous Rapid and Blitz, he had a fabulous Rapid result, and it was only a poor Blitz result that stopped him from winning that event.
And he's one of those players who doesn't make a lot of draws. He only has 2 draws. Every other game has been decisive.
Yep.
He's kind of the opposite of Wesley.
The anti-Wesley.
Yes.
Rook f8 may be an indication that this knight is ready for greener pastures.
Yeah, it's difficult to imagine black pushing for d6, d5 in particular with where the pieces are, right? Because the knight on g6 is vulnerable to discoveries if you do that?
Just the fact that Fabi is leaving his rook on a8, meaning it suggests to me at least that if Gukesh plays for b4, he would gift the open a file for the rook. Rook e2, a kind of
Is he protecting f2 and wants to double on d?
I'm not sure what that move.
But that's very awkward placement of pieces, right?
Yeah.
I guess
Time
it's
to
just hard
shift?
to find good moves for white.
It's because the position is kind of closed at the moment. Some maneuvering is in order here.
Right, because when you were suggesting c4 for white, that is a risky move because you're completely giving up control of d4. Knight goes
That's
to
right.
e6.
Yeah, I was about to ask, are we interested in the idea of playing queen f7 and
Put the
trying
queen
to
on c4?
actively ask for c4 and then maybe going knight
Provoke
e6 and saying, this gives me more
Why not?
squares? Because not playing c4 in this position seems awkward. Your other options
Right.
seem very unattractive. Rook
A3,
a1 is
no.
horrible. A3 is
No, a3.
no, a3 never happens.
I'm forced to play c4 here.
Pretty much forced to play c4, and then maybe knight e6, and maybe aim the other one at the c6 square. That would be maybe a dream, right? Knight e7, knight
that's
e6,
nice.
and then land something on d4.
And you can keep one of the pieces on d4. One of the knights even.
Rook e d2, though.
And then again, I pointed at this knight on h2 and said, "You need a better job. you better
better
get to
job."
work." And I'm just being told, by the way, that Sam Shanklin, who has had a difficult event, he is currently better. What the
That's it.
heck?
Yeah,
Strange
the bishop.
position.
No, this is a very interesting game, and there's been some
Is this Fisher random?
a little
It
bit,
looks
yeah.
like it, yeah.
What are we seeing? Go ahead, please.
There was an interesting moment specifically here.
As well, and by the way, Queen f7.
I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, that was the question. And yeah, I was going to say, if you reach for the a pawn and you play a3, checkers is a very challenging game. I would recommend you take up. No, you don't want to play a3. c4.
c4 and knight e7 immediately. And in this position, the engine suggested it was time to play b4, ab, en passant.
Yeah.
Change up
So-
the structure.
Swissions.
Yes. Knight c6 before again. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, before knight c6, bishop c3. And I'm assuming if something appears on d4, we start chopping. Yeah, we would like to end up with the black bishop on d4 and us playing knight f3. Black probably should do something else, but if we do end up with that particular material balance, I think white is just completely fine. Knight f3, perhaps c4, c5 in the near future, rook d5, rook e d2. This might be better for white for all we know. Instead of that, Gukesh made a slightly, I think, artificial move knight e1, trying to find the job for the knight on h2, but the one on e1 now doesn't really have a particularly interesting job.
It gave up his job for the other knight.
Yeah, a misplaced knight on h2 now
Yeah.
becomes a misplaced knight on e1.
I guess he wants knight d3, but
Yeah, but knight e3 is
Yeah,
not
it's
a
not good at
particularly
all.
good square.
Maybe he'll do the same. If Fabi goes for knight to e6, then the whole idea of bishop c3 and trying to play that
But
b4 line.
one thing I want to say, by the way, is that now that we no longer have a knight on h2, maybe I'm once again very interested in the ideas of like g5, rook g8, and g4.
Yep. I mean,
There's really nobody home there. If I open the g file, I give mate.
yes.
There
thanks
really is nobody there.
Thanks to the guided missile. Yes. I like that. No, seriously.
So I don't know
G5.
how to go about things preparing it. I don't know if we
I don't
already.
know if it needs preparation.
Yeah,
How
let's see.
about
Let's see if
G5?
we go g5 straight away. G5, white seems to be maybe bishop c3, rook e d2, and maybe there is some
Bishop
counterplay.
c3,
Or
queen
perhaps you can
G6.
play before a b here and start pushing
B4.
something on the queen side, which is why, for the time being, the engine makes a waiting move. It very much likes the move king h7, which I was trying to sort of trying my best not to mention, because I don't really understand why we're spending a tempo in putting our king into a bit of an X-ray on h7. It
Right.
does seem to be insisting that this is a very useful move, and there are. I guess the point is there aren't very many useful moves for white, because if you play knight g3, now g5 is very strong. It really does start thinking that maybe the point is, in positions like this, we no longer have to worry about any kind of a sacrifice along the long diagonal. And it just goes rook dg8 and does start to brute force it.
Right.
So I think we are settling on the correct idea here. It's just that starting with king h7 is not something very many people do.
No.
I don't think it occurs to you. I think if you want to nominate a move that prepares g5, it's maybe queen e6, protecting d6 additionally, creating a sort of already connecting with the square on g4. Good move, second best move maybe, judging by this screen. But yeah, Fabio's doing very well. I really don't like this knight e1, knight hf3 idea. I think you needed to play much faster.
And just to bring you up to date, we are watching, wow, king h7. That's hard to believe. Putting the queen on c2, putting the king on h7, but prepping the move g5, awesome. Just awesome.
He's filling this position.
Yeah, to bring you up to date, our viewers, we're watching the potential of history in the making. Fabiano needing to win with the black pieces against world champion Gukesh, and if he were to manage to do that, he would set a new record in the GCT Tour, never accomplished before. 16 out of 18 in the rapid. 3 times, 15 out of 18 has been achieved, once by Fabi himself, twice by Magnus in the past. And right now, I've got to say, Nasi, I think he's in good position.
He got a good
to
position
break the
right out of
record.
the opening, and he keeps enjoying his advantage, improving it move by move, and he has very good chances to win.
I just have to say, though, I could not bring myself to play king h7 when I'm looking at that queen on c2. By the way, we do have knight d3 on the board. I'm wondering, should I just play g5?
Yeah,
and just say,
knight d6 is also strong, but there is no particular reason not to just go for it now.
g5, and in case of any trades,
We take with the bishop pretty much always, I think.
always to manage. And I mean, the dream, of course, is to
There we go.
Go g4, g3, and it's unleashed.
It is very much unleashed, yes.
Release the kraken. g5.
The moves make themselves now. Rook g8 is coming, g4, and so on.
Wow. Wow. Rudolf Spielmann, a great attacking player in the past, lamented the fact that he could find all of Alexandra Alekhine's combinations. Says they're very obvious. Says, but I never get those positions. It's like achieving this kind of position where you get to play g5, rook g8, and g4. It's an attacker's dream. But getting them, that's
a skill.
It's a great skill.
Do you think Gukesh now regrets that he moved that knight from h2?
Yes.
It would have been helpful in defense, right?
And I think he actually regrets that he hasn't already made progress on the queen side with b4. I mean, and again, this bishop on d2, it feels like it's interference, right? I mean, what are you doing on d2? I mean, we need the rook on d2, we need the pawn on b4.
White needs like 5 extra tempi to improve the position.
And meanwhile, as Peter said, brute force, rook g5, g4, and there's not many guards on
It's just a
Gukesh
knight on
king.
f3, which we can easily distract with knight d4 when needed.
Yeah, that's
No, yeah,
true
this-
too.
Once the g4 happens, I think the panic sets in for white.
Yeah. I noticed, Peter, that you like the term, you used it, shift. If we can shift the knight. You borrowed that from David Howell in the British chess commentary school. Shift.
I'm not
in the
sure where I
pieces.
got it from.
The shift. We just remove them.
We use very aggressive language.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Knight b4
Knight
chosen, at least trying to get
b4.
it over to d5. Understandable.
That's wasting
I
time.
don't think we are allowing it to get there.
Is it scary, Peter? What is it doing on d5? Great, you got to. Pawn on
Yeah,
d5.
maybe we can actually.
It's
I'm beginning to wonder, like if I go rook g8 here, let's put something on the board.
Yes, which
rook
is-
g8, knight d5, I assume.
I mean that's.
What about g4 here?
You're not even preserving.
No, I
the
want to
missile?
ask you, what about g4 here?
I have to
As
say,
we've been
I'm
discussing,
not-
there's nobody home.
I am not taking.
Rook takes, knight b6, rook a g8. Isn't this mate?
it may be splat because the desirable rook knight g1 probably
I don't even
gets
have a way to
killed.
run king f1, king e2 because the rook is on e2.
You know, everything,
Right.
everything is in the way. It feels like it might just be mate.
Yeah.
Because I have rook g2, queen h5.
Queen
My,
h5.
my moves are coming extremely quick.
No. That's deadly. You're making a very powerful point. You know, and again, Gukesh is just kind of playing with fire. He's making some of these tempi moves, and here we go. Rook g8. The moment of truth for the world champion. Is he going to play knight d5 and allow g4, or is he going to take up? No.
Knight g5,
What can
there's
you
even
Knight
time-
h2, knight d4.
Yeah, you can't do
Oh.
it. G4 is coming.
Oh,
There's
oh,
no
oh.
stop in g4.
This
Yeah.
bishop on d2, once again, why is it in the way?
But g4 is strong, but the engine says there's no particular reason to even do it. Bishop a7 is also completely fine.
Yes.
The knight on g5 is a very proud-looking piece, but it does nothing, and we
Right.
can actually preserve all of our attacking pieces and go g4 next move.
Yeah, you still
Fabulous.
can't stop g4.
This is dead lost according to my screen.
Yeah. I can see
Dead
it, yeah. I don't
lost.
see any moves for white after g4. That's it.
Yeah, we've
Wow.
sort of fuffed about for a bit too long, and now we're getting mated.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a knight on h2 that somehow went to d5, and in those 5 moves that it took,
That knight is on f3. I marked the knight.
Very nice callback. Very nice callback. Well played.
marked. That was good.
Yeah. In the meantime, Sam is completely winning against Grigori. We're not switching, but
Yeah.
just to update our viewers.
Right. And
And
again,
MVL is enjoying his advantage against Wesley as well.
rook g8, Fabi chasing history, making history, pardon me, what am I saying? Making history, trying to becoming the first player to score 16 out of a possible 18 points. And he's prepping g5, g4, and just bringing the fire on the king side.
And also trying to really extend his lead before going into the blitz section, where players
Exactly.
can only pick up 1 point per win. And
Only
Only one.
only. I live for 1 point per game, and now you're saying I can only.
Bishop c3 chosen by Gukesh.
Okay, so he's,
Do we need to react to this, honestly?
look? A moment ago, you were ready to give a piece.
Yeah.
I am sure you're ready to give a pawn. G4.
Yeah.
Let's go. Take
g4 and rook takes g4 minus,
takes
minus
G4.
3.5. Yeah, rook
Rook
d6, rook
takes.
a8.
rook G8.
Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
too-
overwhelming.
yeah, what are all white pieces doing on the queen side?
Yeah. There's only a defender, well, a little bit of defender, but I might even say a bit in the way of an
You can see
evacuation.
Gukesh looks very stressed. He knows his position. His king is in big trouble.
By the way, we have these lovely spy cams. They're hidden under an armrest
No,
for
they're
the
lovely
players.
for us, but as a player, I hate them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm completely unaware because
you
the
haven't
camera is
played
so
with it,
small. Well, I've sat on the other side of the table
Yeah,
and
but
seen them.
eventually, when you play for 5 hours, it
Well,
gets
that's
to
what
you.
I'm saying.
Especially when you're losing, you hate that camera because you know it's on you.
So it's kind of an armrest. Oh, you have an awareness. But the
Yes.
camera is so small, it's like the tiniest eye, I want to say, but you're aware of it.
Always.
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you
In
have
terms of our tournament situation, Livon is a pawn down in a rook ending against Lekwan Liam, but he's not going to lose that. It's a kind of a pawn
But
down
it is
position.
a great invention, these little cameras, because we get to see players' faces
Right.
as they're playing. And I also like the shot with the pieces right in front of them.
Yes.
Very cinematic.
And here we are. We've just seen the move bishop c3, and Fabi is considering to play the move g4, which we, thanks to
It's-
the help
yeah.
of our engines, know
It's
is a
committal, but if it
fabulous-
wins, yeah. And you don't want to waste any time protecting anything. Like if you can already start giving mate, why
Yeah, I mean the
Why?
d6 pawn.
dilly dally?
Exactly.
Dilly dally. G4
And
is on the
indeed,
board.
Fabi, a man of principle, says, "Look, I am threatened to play g4. Gosh darn it! You better
Only thing
deal
is
with
that
this."
Fabi has spent considerable time, but 4 minutes should be enough to convert this game?
I've been watching Fabi getting down to a minute, getting underneath a minute, playing just one
Best
excellent move after another, and
I don't know if we have this as a graphic, but I know our statistician, Ben Underwood, sent us some very interesting numbers about the percentage of games the full GCC Tour participants get to what is called serious time trouble, which he counts as below 30 seconds on the clock in rapid and below 10 in the blitz. And Fabi, I think, would be sort of mid-pack. I don't think he is an outlier, but he does like to think. And why wouldn't he? Because he seems to come to good conclusions.
But not as much as Linear, for example.
Linear is a constant. I'm definitely.
Actually, I think I was slightly shocked by the fact that I think Prague is in first position, not Linear. Because Linear is not a four-tour participant.
Yes.
I think Prague was number one there with a very high number in both rapid
In
and
my
blitz.
mind, Prague is such a fast player.
Right.
That's surprising.
You don't connect him as being in time trouble a lot. And you would love to get on your sneakers and start saying, okay, I'm going to make a dash for it.
You're not dashing very far.
But the problem is, if I do something like this, I'm fearful, first of all, of rook
F3,
g2,
Queen H5,
F3.
All kinds of things.
But Queen H5 here, rook takes g.
F3 is
just
there
everything.
too?
Yeah.
I'm just afraid my king
F3
is
not F3,
never.
Queen F3 was, I think.
I'm never getting over there. No. I am not.
And the shocking thing about it is,
sorry,
so far we haven't even sacrificed anything for it. We're doing this for free.
For free?
Yeah.
Well, now we're doing this for a
One
pawn,
point.
but I mean,
A moment ago.
might as well be for free.
Sorry, I should have pointed out what Peter had just told me, which was give a checkmate, Yasser. Give a checkmate. Checkmates are good.
Nice.
They do tend to end the game, yeah.
Checkmates work. We have seen, instead of king f1, rook takes d6,
Rook
and
G8.
instantly rook g8.
Yeah,
What
you
are
would like to play
doing?
knight takes c6, but I don't think black even reacts to it. I don't think you stop for it. Knight c6, I go rook g2, queen h5.
Exactly. It's sort of like this.
Or maybe even queen h5 without rook g2. Because if you play king f1 there, I want to play... it doesn't work.
Can I go knight e1?
I wanted to go king f1,
Okay.
queen h5,
sorry.
king f1. I want to go queen h1 and queen takes g1. But the king goes to h1 and this is not mate.
Are you
That's
sure?
so disappointing.
Hey, did you see that? The software
Yes.
told me, idiot, your king's in check.
Yeah,
Are you
I don't
sure
think this is
doesn't
mate.
work?
But where's the
You just need
f3 in
F3,
the end?
right,
or
at
what?
the
Yes,
moment.
and rook h1.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it still
Oh
work?
no, rook e1. Sorry.
Ah.
Knight d5 chosen by Gukesh, at least creating a threat of knight f6 check, which is understandable, at least, you know.
One
This is
active move, yes.
This is a threat you need to respect. It stops queen h5 from happening as well,
That's
which is
an
very,
important-
very relevant.
Okay, but that's a pawn. Yum. Now I'm
go
attacking
queen
without a
h5.
pawn. Yeah, do not play queen
Yeah,
h5.
knight f6 needs to be defended.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah, and Fabi just calmly goes bishop d8, stops knight f6, reestablishes the threat of...
Computer does not like that move. Now Gukesh can take on d8. And, then take
and
on
bishop
e5.
takes e5. So what was the
Maybe
clean...
he's somewhat back in the game.
What was the
He
cleaner
was supposed to
side?
play rook g6. Rook
just
second
rook-
to
yeah.
g6.
Rook 7 to g6 or rook?
Rook second.
Yeah, rook second. Rook 2.
Rook 2, thank you.
Rook 2.
Wow, Gukesh has a chance to fight back.
Yeah, he absolutely
Oh
needs
my
to take on
goodness.
d8, but if he does, the game becomes a lot sharper because the bishop on c3 finally starts playing.
We thought this was so one-sided.
And it was. It truly just felt like black's attack had crashed through long before.
And,
yes.
and by the way, I want to point out briefly,
Please.
we were all playing rook g8, and Fabi also played it in about 1 second flat, but queen h5 ends the game because we're creating a threat of rook g2, rook g8, queen h1 mate.
Wait.
This is no longer in time.
He was +6.
Yeah, this is already gone.
Yeah.
I think maybe he thought knight h2, but then, like everything is suddenly winning.
Yeah. Your queen h5.
Rook g8 actually is a mistake, specifically because after knight d5, you
stopping
suddenly
queen
have to
h5.
solve problems. You were already at the moment where correct play doesn't really let white even ask a question.
Queen h5.
And
would
here
have won
rook
it.
to g6 with the idea of rook takes g6, queen takes g6 with the queen coming in is very
Obvious.
strong. Yeah, this is better, but the position still remains
So
very,
last
very
couple
poor.
of moves by Fabio were not the most accurate,
Not-
most precise, and
The queen h5, by the way, is not that difficult to move.
Yeah, I think he was just
rook
so
G8
sure
is-
he's winning that.
I think rook g8 is what we might call a blitzer's move. Queen h5, classical chess. You just go rook, queen h5, rook g2, rook g8. But having missed that opportunity, now can Gukesh tell me why this
has
move
to
is so good?
rook
Nancy?
d8. You have to take with the knight, otherwise
Because the
rook is hanging.
right, no choice.
And then I go bishop e5 with again the knight f6 threat. Even knight f4 is available. All of a sudden, white has very active pieces.
Gotcha.
Remember how bad they were on the queen side?
He's done it. Gukesh
He's done all the best moves. Bishop e5 on the board.
recognizing that he might
And
have
actually,
an upper
unless Fabio plays knight d7, he's worse.
knight.
He does play knight e7 though, because it's
Yeah,
a very
you have
natural
to.
thing. You have to
Yes,
stop knight e6
absolutely.
check, and the knight on c5 wasn't
And-
really doing very much.
And you desperately want to play queen h5 and queen h1 mate. So you don't want to bring the rook back.
This
to
is still
g6.
very, very difficult to play
Yeah,
for
white
white.
king is still not happy. Maybe king e1 and start running.
King A. Well, I've been actually. That makes a lot of
queen
sense
h5 is
because
very scary.
Yeah, I've been dreaming of getting. The
But it's
king
still scary even there, simply because it attacks a lot of light pieces. Like queen h5 attacks both the bishop on e5 and the knight on f3. It still looks like in practice you probably lose this with white because of just how difficult to contain all the threats is.
But look, sometimes, what do we say? Necessity is the mother of invention. Sometimes you just have to be inventive and clever because everything else is just lost.
Absolutely. And if if Fabio draws, he doesn't break the record, but
He ties,
He ties Magnus.
his record with Magnus.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Fabi has scored 15 out of 18. Magnus has done it twice, so you could say they share the record. But if he was to make a draw, they would be genuinely sharing the record. I mean,
Equally.
you know, truly.
By the way, MVL is quite comfortably winning that endgame.
Lost this ending, Wesley loses the ending. There's something wrong with that ending.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's much easier to press than it is to defend. You can go wrong very, very easily there.
Peter, back to this position, knight e6. Why
Yeah,
is
knight
knight
e6
e6 better than queen h5?
Well, because we might not need queen h5, I think, is the point. White plays queen c3 anyway, and if queen h5 wins no material, why are we forcing white to make a move that
And
is logical
conversely,
anyway? And
knight
the
e6.
knight on d8 isn't doing anything at all, so protecting f4, bringing it into the game, maybe creating some threats of, queen c3 anyway. No, I think this is very much a game. If I get my king over to c2,
Whoa. And there's a king on h7. Suddenly I'm interested in playing. I'm not imagining you're playing h5, h4, h3.
no, not yet.
No.
Not yet. Queens need to come off for that to start happening.
Wow.
But like I said, long time ago, they're going to be in time trouble, and it's happening now.
Yeah.
In a quite messy position.
Well, it was that messy position that Gukesh had with Lanier where he just kind of got outplayed, frankly, at the very end of the game.
But in this game, he was so lost.
Right.
And then he found this beautiful rook d8, bishop e5. Now
Exchange
he feels
side.
like he got a second chance.
Well, you know, the trend is his friend, right? When you're saving a bad position and you know it and your opponent knows it, you start to think, okay, let me push my luck a bit. King e1, and we're anticipating queen to c3, king to d2 to Gukesh. We know Peter saying, get the knight into
Right.
play, queen to c3, and now, are we taking this down?
No, I don't think we are. I think knight on d7 is very valuable because it
then
protects
after-
f6, yeah.
Yeah, after queen e5.
But the moves that the engine suggests are very, very non-obvious. I can see rook c8 being suggested as an idea. Removing anything from the g file is going to be very hard to even consider.
Rook c8.
I think it wants b5.
He might play it though. He starts with knight e6.
does.
It realizes that there's nobody left on the king side now. There's nobody there to attack, and there's a shift towards the queen side and the center. And rook c8 in those terms does make some sense, but I don't think it's an easy move to.
And
And
we
in
have
this
a
game,
result.
Notterbeck has defeated Lanier.
Wow.
Novak with a minor comeback towards the end of the tournament, but I think he still finished on -1 in pure terms, or maybe 50%, but I think it's actually -1, which is a bit of a disaster for him. I think he normally is a very, very strong player.
Well, we are talking about a former world champion in rapid chess, so I'm sure he was expecting
and hoping,
himself,
definitely
and
hoping for more. Yeah.
Oh, Queen A4.
Queen takes A4.
What?
He's been greedy taking the pawn on A4.
Yeah, and now...
Boy, give that man his membership pass. Queen A4.
Well, he wants Queen D7, Knight F6. It's not just the pawn. He also creates a threat. But Knight takes E5, Knight takes E5, Queen G7 appears to be very strong now.
Knight takes E5, which since you're threatening to take on D7, and as you said, fork my king and queen. Knight takes,
Wait, 20 seconds for Fabi.
Queen. I thought you said Fabi was in control on the clock.
He's no longer.
You know,
Wait.
Yeah.
you're my top agent in these matters.
Let's just watch. There's going to be a lot of things happening very quickly.
We had the wrong time.
I think
they both have 45 seconds.
Right. I'm looking at the clock at the top right of my screen, and it says 49, and it says Knight G5. What?
Which is a missed opportunity.
No knight takes E5.
No.
Knight G5.
Yeah, white has to take that knight. There's no choice. Black is probably intending to take... Which rook are you taking with?
8th, probably.
It is queen
And
takes
now-
D7.
White keeps that strong bishop on the diagonal, right?
Queen D7, we are...
What are we doing?
What's happening there?
Rook G1 and Queen takes D7, and the knight is
The
pinned.
check, yeah. Oof.
Very beautiful.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Okay, let's show our. I mean, at first blush, it was like, oh dear, queen takes D7, queen takes D7, check.
But the machine says we can take on F4.
And guess what? We're two pieces for the good. But if after queen takes
Intermezzo
D7,
check.
the intermezzo, check, and then we take. Now the
Has he-
knight's in a pin.
Has he reached for the... It looked like he was reaching for Queen takes D7, no? And then maybe
Missed
he
it.
realized what
I
happened.
missed it. I missed it.
He
No,
made,
he's
Like
gone,
bishop
no,
to
he's gone
D4.
bishop D4,
Bishop to D4.
which is a very solid move, actually. Yeah.
he made it with 3 seconds on the clock.
3 seconds. So
And that
is he
bishop,
inviting F3?
this bishop does such a great job of protecting the important bits of our position.
But is he inviting F3, Peter?
F3,
Rook
rook
E3.
Rook F2? No.
No,
Rook
can take
F2?
that.
What?
Knight E5 was played. Queen B3 quickly responded.
Quickly responded, Queen
Defended
D3.
that F3 square.
Wow. Again, I'm very curious. What's going on after F3? Rook
Rook
E3, Rook F2, King F2, Rook G2,
Wait, rook
King
F-
F1.
Yeah. Queen
Because the
H5.
moment you...
F2,
Uh,
F2.
Rook G3.
Rook G3 probably, yeah. Nicely spotted by Nazi, yeah.
Flag. I'm sorry, you guys lost on time.
7 seconds for Fabi.
7. Oh my goodness.
You
Knight
want it.
C6. Oh wait. Knight F6.
It's not a good
check.
move.
No.
Queen D3 is quite strong now. White is just... There's now 2 pawns for the exchange. The king is going to be
And
quite safe
powerful
around the G2
knight.
square.
Powerful knight.
Yeah, bishop F6 is also quite decent.
Bishop F6.
Yeah. Oh, this is very much getting out of control for Fabi.
Yeah.
For
this is
Fabi,
game for
again,
the results. Rook
what a-
G6, Queen C3.
And we were
Time to play F3.
F3.
Really time to play F3. And I guess, judging by the double question mark, something was just winning instead of that, maybe.
H5. No F3.
Now
Fabi,
after E5 or King D2, Gukesh is much better.
the position has
E5,
completely
he's played
turned
it.
around.
He's winning.
My goodness, what a turnaround. Queen H3, by the way.
Gukesh about to deliver first loss to Fabi. 3 seconds. 2. Wow, he almost lost on time.
But knight takes F4. Rook check. No.
Yeah, there are no more
Yeah, this is
meaningful
completely winning
checks.
for
Yeah,
Gukesh
even,
now.
even the ending now of the Queen D3 is completely winning, I guess.
Just 95 now covered
Or
the
95,
king.
yeah.
Knight D5 covers the king. I like the Queen,
Queen
D3.
D3. Very
The
easy.
one move you don't reach for is King C2 because you don't want to overlook
You know
Knight
what?
D4 check.
No, Queen D1 mate also.
Or Queen D1 mate.
But any of those 2 moves,
Knight D5, Queen D3, and Gukesh.
wow,
He's done it. Queen D3.
what a turnaround.
Crazy.
King takes, Rook G4.
Hold on. Is that a
Rook e4 the strongest.
Why
Other moves
can't
are
we move the
available, but
knight?
rook e4 is the cleanest.
Oh, if you move the knight d5, there's rook d1 check.
Yeah.
king e4? By the way, I was
Not-
reaching for
you,
the
you
king
need to
because-
find knight d4 now. If you don't play knight d4, you are probably completely
Lost, yeah.
lost. Yeah, you need to find knight d4 because you
Yeah,
need to,
e6 is coming.
yeah,
Yep.
you need to get rid of some
After
pieces.
knight d4 still I take, and then how do you stop my e pawn, right? It's very
Well, I have
scary.
an h passer as well. He's got here.
He's gone h4. allowing-
F3 is now winning. Yeah.
Nicely spotted, f3.
By the way, we are getting news that Sam Shankland has won his game against Gregory. Again, we're watching this blitz.
What an exciting game this has been.
It's, I mean, a roller coaster ride for Gukesh, but it looks like he's in the winning seat. 11
He is.
seconds.
Knight d4 now, but it's one move too late for Fabi. On the
I can
previous
take the
move
rook.
would have been much better. Actually, rook h2 has to be played.
Rook h2 has to
Yes.
be played.
If you take on g4 after knight e2 and then h3,
Oh, I was
Oh,
about
beautiful.
to take the rook, but h3, h2.
which I'm sure
Oh,
Gukesh has
what a
calculated.
cheapo.
17 seconds.
Rook h2. Yeah,
only
but
way I
actually,
move.
it's actually a pretty clear winning move when you start to realize
Yeah.
that.
Black has rook e1 check and rook takes f4, but then the king gets to d5.
4 seconds. And he found it.
Wow!
Incredible. King d4.
And look at them go.
And now we just take on h4.
That's a tempo.
Yeah.
I have
against
so
the
many
bishop.
pawns that we can.
4 extra pawns.
Yeah, we can start
That's
offering
incredible.
trades actually, very safely.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I think Gukesh is in cruise control now. And for Fabi, what a missed opportunity. Queen h5.
That was
It was
ending the
minus
game
6.
on the spot.
Yeah,
He
and he
could have
still
made
had
the
about
record.
maybe 4 or 5 minutes at the time. Yeah, he just thought rook g8 was winning very easily.
Exactly.
I think that's what happened there.
He definitely got lulled to sleep. Rook d1 check, king c5,
King e6
Oh, king
even.
e6 as well. Yeah.
king c5. I'm thinking you anchored the bishop.
Rook
back on
dd4. If
Yeah,
he
that
sees
was a
rook
bit of a
dd4, it
blunder.
becomes a bit interesting again because we do pick up the pawn on c4 and we have some checks.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was just ready to clamp everything down, play bishop
Oh, he
f6.
didn't play.
Oh, he didn't. He has missed his opportunity for rook on d1.
Possibly his
to
last
d4.
chance, yes.
Attacks the bishop. It was the old double attack. He's missed it, and now Gukesh.
When you know that you were
c6. Let's go.
c6, bishop d4, bishop c5. Yeah.
Nice.
You can't even touch any of these pieces. This is such a sturdy construction.
Yeah, black king cannot come closer.
Yeah.
It's cut off so nicely.
Yeah. that
Very
is a
good
point.
technique by Gukesh in the
Yeah.
endgame.
Ooh. For Fabi just having so many regrets. He's played such a nice game through the first 30 odd moves, maybe more, that he was playing. And set up this beautiful winning attack and just misfired with.
Do we play bishop
Rook
d4?
G.
Because
Yeah, I
I don't
would,
want to
yeah.
be pinned with rook d3.
Gaining a tempo doesn't hurt.
Sure. Yeah, I don't.
And now bishop d4, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after rook d3, you can even just go rook d7.
Bishop c5.
Yeah, bishop.
King b6
Well, I didn't want to
and king
allow
b6
black
and
king to
b5.
go
I
close.
see. I
yeah.
know what you.
I don't want to
Yeah,
give
I
any-
What
guess
was disturbing
I
your
guess this is
harmonic,
why-
victory.
This is why the bishop isn't on d4 yet. I didn't realize rook d3 existed. Oh, he doesn't even play rook d3. Goes rook g8. Yeah, now rook d7 to have rook b7 as a response.
Rook g8, bishop to b6. Rook
I guess
b8.
don't play c7 yet.
Don't play c7. I've got a cheapo. Rook takes c7.
We're a bit stuck actually. Like rook d7, I'm assuming, and then maybe c7 next move. But we are king a6, rook a2 check though. Hang on a second. Bishop a5, bishop takes. Oh, okay, he just repeats for some additional time on the clock.
Yeah, bishop a5, rook takes b8.
Yeah,
and you
there
get
was-
suddenly rook and bishop versus.
Yeah,
rook.
there was hope there for a second. yeah.
Exactly.
No, I think rook d7 is. But you don't want to allow king e6. I can sort of understand why he doesn't do it. King e5, king d5, maybe. I think
not
we are
good.
interested in the idea of getting the king closer to
So funnily
where it
enough,
should
I'm
be.
not getting my updates.
Same. I'm not getting any updates, so we just watched the
Yeah.
live board.
Rook h7 played. King d5? No, king d5, rook d7,
check.
c7, rook d8.
Or
Yeah,
I think at some point you're going to play rook b7 too, aren't you?
King e6, yeah, stopping that construction, stopping the rook from reaching the d8 square so easily. But yeah, rook b7, you will have to play rook c8. I guess you play bishop c5.
Yeah, we can zoom in on just the live board since our board is 10 moves behind or something.
Yeah. Oh, now they're updating. Look
Okay,
at my board.
we're getting
It's
all
just-
the moves all at
Boy,
once.
yeah, we got to.
Yeah, bishop c5 as expected. Continuing to keep everything nicely connected, not playing c7 too early.
Exactly.
Is it still easy to mess up this wide or not?
No,
really?
I think it's actually pretty straightforward.
No, I think this is very, very controllable.
King b6.
Well,
so we
king
have
d5.
Rook d7 check, and then king b6 probably.
Yeah.
I want the king on b7, and then it
Rook
really
b7
should become
check.
very, very easy.
King is the hero of this game.
Right. Precisely. So I'm expecting king b6 with the idea rook d8 check.
Cover.
Rook b7. Never mind
Very
king
nice.
c7, but yes. And, you know,
Push everything.
yeah,
Everything.
brute force.
He's given another check, I think gaining time on the clock. Although he can play c7, yes.
Which he has done. So rook e7 check, king d5, c7
Yeah, now you can't really attack anything,
more
and king
checks?
b6, king b7 is completely
Plays itself.
unstoppable. Yeah.
No more checks.
Did Gukesh just reach for the queen and pull it over?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But he will soon if you didn't.
Like a good blitzer, you know, get the queen in your hand close to before your opponent can hide the queen.
And Levon has saved his game and drew against Liam Lee.
Wow, I
some point
thought
he
he
was
was
lost.
losing that rook and pawn end game. So congratulations to Levon for saving a difficult game.
Yeah, poor Fabi, look at him. He knows this is just over and he can't
Nothing to
believe
do.
it. Like,
King
what
b6,
happened?
king b7.
If you can
rook
update.
a8.
Rook a8 was played.
Yeah, just
No,
get the
no,
king
it's
over to b7 and then
Can
figure
And
also
then,
go-
but that, by the way, freezes the whole.
Yeah. I was going to say rook d7 check. And then you can give another check and maybe king c6.
Yeah, allowing the king to c4 maybe is unnecessary. But I mean, it's all really. I'm very sure it's kind of impossible to
c6
spoil,
now.
but yeah.
b6, okay, yeah. It doesn't even allow rook a6 check.
No.
Right. But once you get your king to b7, then black's rooks are basically stuck, right?
Yeah.
They have to protect one another. Fabi, recognizing that would be the case, moved his rook. So now
Yeah, we can even go b5, b6, and then look for a way to
next-
cash in. Yeah.
the next way of improving our position.
It's
I
b5.
love b5, b6. Although I must say, just the idea of playing the bishop to b6 and the rook to d8.
King c6 is also available to protect all the pieces, and that's it, b7.
Yep.
I like king c6. Because we'll see rook c8, it's the last move.
Rook d8 then.
c8, rook d8.
No, there's really no hope.
It's a resignation.
And wow.
What a win by Gukesh.
Whew, Fabi came so close to setting
Yeah,
a GCT record.
He must be sick to his stomach. He knows he was
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah. But
Terrible loss for Fabi.
what a fabulous game to Gukesh. Resilient.